All right, gentlemen, let's get straight into it. I've got my notes here. Today in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the main exercise that men over 30 keep stuffing up, and it causes them issues that it shouldn't, and also holds them back from getting the complete benefits of the exercise. And what is the exercise? It's not bench press, it's squats. First of all, more men over 30 or more men in general need to do squats more often. I've personally, as of in the last couple of years, started to incorporate squats in almost every single workout I do. That's just a personal thing, and it's not right for everyone, but that just goes to show you that I was even one of the guys that used to not squat enough. And in my research that I've got here, as well as just personal experience in the gym or at home, even doing home bodyweight squats, you really notice the difference from when you don't squat and you start squatting often. There is research that backs it up. There's so many experiences talking about how your legs contain a large percentage of your total testosterone in your body, and so squats is one of the best ways to get that pumping through the body and increasing your testosterone. That could be more on the intuitive side, but I believe it's true in my experience as well. When I think about back in the day when I wasn't squatting enough and missing leg day, towards now when I don't miss leg day, and if anything I'm doing leg every day, it's I can definitely tell my testosterone's higher naturally, along with many other, I guess, causes of that. But my testosterone is higher, especially when I do squats. I feel like I'm getting random erections as well, more often, which is a healthy sign of testosterone being high, and your libido in check as well. So those are just many things. And in my research, I really wanted to, bring the goods out in this video. Obviously, I'm not in the gym; I'm in the home office. So the number one mistake, and I see it in the gym as well, and I was someone who made this mistake as well, is rounding the back when you're squatting, and the the main causes or the main reasons people round their back is they're not engaging their core. They've got tight hamstrings, they've got poor hip mobility, and it just puts extra strain on the lower back, and it reduces the effectiveness of the exercise as well. It increases the risk of injury, and the range of motion is lessened. And the last thing, a good rule of thumb that can help you with squats, but any exercise in general, is you don't want to be feeling pain at all in any exercise. But on top of that, you also don't want to be you want to be feeling the muscle that you're working out the most, over other body parts. So if you got a round back and you're doing squats and you're feeling your back while doing squats, it's a sign that you're doing it wrong. It's a sign that you should stop, go light, just use the bar until you can master the form, and then go gradually up from there. And you leave the ego at the door. I still, to this day, do 1 to 2 sets of just the bar whenever I'm warming up, on barbell squats. So definitely put your ego at the door. That's a sign. Whenever I'm doing exercise, let's say if I'm doing a lat pull down, for example, and I'm feeling my biceps over my back, even though it's a secondary muscle, I should be feeling my back more than my biceps, which means that I'm using my biceps more than my back. There you go, straight. Then you can try and fix the mind muscle connection that way as well. So there's a proper form checklist, and it's obviously depending on your mobility, depending on where your issue lies, you may pay more attention to each part of this checklist more. But to kind of cover everyone, first you want to embrace your core, and I always like to use analogies when I'm talking about how to do exercise correctly. So you want to engage your core like someone's going to punch you in the stomach. So brace your core just like you're getting ready for like a pro boxer to punch you in the stomach, and you need to withstand it. That's the first thing. The second thing is keeping your chest up. So you got a straight back. You keep your chest up high as much as possible. Now this can be hard as well, leading into the third one, which is proper depth, because to keep your chest high, and then proper depth meaning when you're doing the squat, you're making your thighs parallel to the ground, so in level with your knees. That can be hard when you got, for two reasons. If you got lack of mobility, and the other thing is, if you're a pretty tall guy, like I'm a pretty tall guy myself, I'm almost 6 foot. I'm not 6 foot, but I'm 5'11" or something like that. And you've got long limbs, it's actually it's actually harder than you think. So I can empathize with you if you're on the taller end. And I'll talk about at the end of the video how you can go, like there's another workaround to this as well. Keep your chest up and then go for proper depth, thighs parallel to the ground. And then what really helps me, and I had to mentally get over this myself, and a lot of my clients have, and a lot of people that I've talked to in general, is you want to keep your feet shoulder width apart, and you also want to point your toes out. Now, there's another part to this part of the checklist as well. You want to, when you're squatting down and up, you want your knees to be in line with your toes, in terms of going in the same direction as your foot, not going inwards like you're bowing your legs or outwards. That will really help with getting the quads activated on both sides. And whenever I like point my toes out, when I first started doing it, like, oh damn, like I feel like I wasn't aiming the quads more. I was more hammies and stuff like that. But definitely, if you point your toes out a little bit, but you track your knees in the same direction as your foot, in the midline of your foot, then you're still going to be activating all parts of the quads properly, and the legs, which is basically squat. So that's just a mental barrier you're going to have to get over. And obviously, and breathing is the last part of the checklist. And there's a lot of people. There's two main ways to breathe. People just usually say you want to inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. I personally breathe in and hold my breath, and then start like at the top of the movement, and then holding my breath while I go down and up, and then when I've come back up, then I exhale and inhale again. If you're doing speed reps, then you want to keep the rule of thumb of inhaling down and exhaling when you're on the way back up. But if you're taking your time, and which I recommend you do, take your time, breathe in, hold your breath, go down and up, exhale, inhale again. So obviously these reps are going to be a bit slower, but your form is going to be magnificent each rep, which is basically what you want, because you want the right mind muscle connection. You don't want to be getting injured, especially when you're squatting. And if you can't do the squat properly, you're most probably doing the deadlift wrong, because if you can't get the squat right, deadlifts are one of the most mechanically hard movements to correct, because there's so many parts to it. But squats is like a staple. So those are the 5 things. You want to engage your core like someone's hitting you in the stomach or about to. You want to keep your chest up. You want to go down where your thighs are parallel to the floor, so knee level. And you want to keep your feet shoulder width apart and toes slightly pointed out, and then track your knees in the midline of your foot as well, and then focus on your breathing appropriately as well. So those are the 5 parts. And if you can master the squats, I've personally, and a lot of my clients and people over the years, I've been training consistently for like how many? More than 12, 14 years. So, over my time just talking to everyone about squats, it's like, if you incorporate squats and you learn to love it, it really changes everything. Like, it changes your whole mood, it changes your energy, it changes your strength. Like, yeah, just I think it's very important now that I'm over 30 that I'm doing it. Like, I do 100 squats every time I hit the gym. So this is to give you an example of how much I've had to break through that barrier and learn to love it. Like, you won't have to do that to get the benefits, but like, that's just the pressure I put on myself to make sure that I consistently do squats. Is I'll do 100 reps, do the bar about a couple sets, let's say 20 to 30 reps of just the bar, and then I'll put some weight on it, and then I do the rest of the 100 weighted. And then I do bench press after that. Usually, well, that's my current program that I'm doing for myself. So just to give you some bit of context, but definitely like squats, I feel like are the one of the best exercises, especially for men over 30, when you want to increase your testosterone naturally, and you want to stay on top of your game. Squats are going to be a staple in your. And even if you work out at home, I have a client, James, who I helped really get jacked, and he was just using kettlebells at home, strictly kettlebells, and he was doing kettlebell goblet squats, and that was key in him increasing his testosterone, getting jacked, and increasing his lean muscle mass. So that's just a real life example. It's not even just at the gym, even doing bodyweight squats, if that's all you can do, if you're just doing a bodyweight routine, it's going to be one of the staples. And that leads me to the next point, which is And I personally use this workaround as well. If you're struggling still to execute back barbell squats where you're holding the barbell the back, then do front squats where you're holding the barbell on your collarbone, on top of your collarbone, sort of thing. That's gonna be much easier for the taller guys because that I feel the quads easier when I'm doing front squats, and it's simply because of the because you have longer limbs. It's just and the center of gravity and stuff like that. It just helps. So try front squats. Front squats are better than no squats, and people do normal squats and front squats as well. Like the alternator depends on, like, if they do 2 leg days a week, then they might do back squats one day and then the front squats on the next day. But if you like front squats and that works for you, then everyone is different. Everyone is unique, and there's no copy paste template that can be a copy paste for everyone. And that's why some machines in the gym, and this is a bit off topic, but some machines in the gym aren't suited for everyone because they're suited for a certain person of a certain height and certain limb length, and you're not getting the full benefits. So just be mindful of that. Like, there's no copy paste program that works for everyone. There's no machine that's fixed at a certain angle or anything like that, or handle size that's going to be working for you 100% too. So that's why dumbbells and barbells and stuff like that and kettlebells really that adjust to your body like top tier, because you're able to execute perfectly towards how your body is, how your body is. So let me make sure that I've covered everything. There is so many benefits to squatting, especially when you do the proper squat form. Like, you're engaging your quads, so you're getting the proper quad and leg development that you want to when you're doing squats, which leads to your legs being able to carry the body weight. Especially if you're trying to gain muscle in your upper body, you need to make sure your legs are able to carry your weight effectively. Like, if you're just doing upper body, which most men do, let's be honest here, and you're not doing legs enough, and depending on genetics, you may not get massive legs. You may not ever get massive legs, but it's the strength of your legs that matter as well, and the mobility and your gait, like how you walk and walking properly, and your feet. Like, I feel like it's in sync. Like, the more you work out your legs, you're gonna be stronger upper body. And your body will subconsciously know. This is an intuitive approach. Maybe there's some science backing to this, but in my mind, I'm thinking, if my body knows that my legs can hold, another 5 kilos of lean muscle easily, then it's more likely to build the lean muscle without restriction or without hesitation if I'm working out my upper body the right way in order to achieve that lean muscle mass increase, if that makes sense. So essentially, it's getting the body to be on your side if you're trying to build more muscle on your upper body by strengthening your legs, because now your body knows it can handle it. And so if you're doing the proper reps and hypertrophy programming, you're eating right, and you get enough sleep, it's gonna build a muscle, because the body is very, very smart and the brain's smart too. So that's just that's the more intuition side, and I like to combine science and intuition in everything, because science is everywhere, but then to apply the data and apply the science takes intuition, especially when you're dealing with each person individually, whether it's yourself, whether it's someone else, whether it's a client, whether it's another client, whether it's someone that's 30, whether it's someone that's 40, whether it's someone with diabetes, whether it's someone with thyroid issues. Everyone is different, so you need to combine the intuition with the science, in my eyes, which is what I'd like to do in my approach. So that's it for this video. If you are still struggling, don't hesitate, follow me on Instagram. My account's in the description of this video. Just say you saw my squat YouTube video. Do you mind if I send you a video of me doing squats? And then you can send the video to me after reply, and then I can review your squat form for you via Instagram DM. No problem. I would be happy to do that free of charge. No problem at all. I'm here to help people. So Yeah, so if you're really struggling with your squat form, and obviously I'm doing this video in the home office, but if you want to, and you want me to have a look at your squat form, just send me a DM, then shoot me a video of you doing squats, and then we'll take it from there. No problem at all. I'd love to help. Apart from that, have a great day.